The interesting thing about this event today was amazing. I loved learning about Somalia's independence. I always wonder about it. My grandma used to talk about it all the time, but she never really knew as much as the guest speaker knew today. And it was just amazing how he talked about the underground, how they worked together, the communication of things, and how Somalia just became one.
I just felt honored to be able to talk to personally someone that took part of the independence struggle in Somalia back in the days. I just feel that was an honorable moment. Like today, you're not able to talk to people that were part of the Civil War struggle in America. So it was just an honorable moment for me. I felt happy and be able to connect with people from my country.
My name is Hamda. I'm from Somaliland. The art was kind of exceptional because it's very rare to see all these different, even though I just came back from my country, I rarely see this kind of stuff. And I think the program was meaningful.
I'm a Somali. I was born in Somalia, but I don't know anything about it. And to see this today and get a first-hand experience account was something that I can certainly appreciate.
And just to piggyback off what you said, I agree. Seeing the artifacts as well as hearing a first-hand encounter or experience from someone who was in the Somali Youth League, as well as just seeing the artifacts, because I'm born and raised here, so I've never been to Somalia. So this was amazing, just knowing typical household items or clothing, that I appreciated.
I think the event went really well. The young people, this was their marketing, this was everything done by them. So the idea, if there was 10 people that come, those 10 people are going to be young people like themselves who potentially next time will be 20, the next time will be 30, but that grassroots organizing where it's actually done by the young people via Facebook to their own connections. I think the takeaway for me was the richness of the young people and how they really sat observing the knowledge that Abdullah had to give.
It's something that my parents kind of talk about, and I knew what they stood for and that they fought for independence, but really the fact that he was here and able to talk about that was kind of a different experience. It makes it more real.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As custom, inshallah, we'll open up with a quick dua. Inshallah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Rahman Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, ihdina as-siratal mustaqim, siratal ladzina an'amta 'alayhim, ghayril maghdubi 'alayhim waladdallin. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you for coming out to the SSLA, Somali Student League of Atlanta event. The event will consist of, essentially SSLA is a small youth group of Somali youth to come together and better the community and bring together the youth towards the culture of Somali history and as such. We'll explain that more in detail with the next person that comes up. But today, we have a wonderful event, alhamdulillah. We have an art exhibit, we have an artifact exhibit, and we have this brother, alhamdulillah, historian right here, that's going to be speaking about the Somali independence and the SYL, Somali Youth League. Brother Abdullah Muhammad Older will give more of his biography coming up. The artist that we're presenting the art from is a member of our community, Idul Hassan, and then also Mahmoud Isa, I'm sorry. And so essentially, the purpose of the event, as you can see, there are many things that we have brought from our households, representing a lot of the Somali culture and history that we have, many pictures representing a lot of the things that we've seen in our history, a lot of the experiences that people have had in their lives, and a lot of things that people like myself haven't seen before. Me growing up in America, being born in America, and also having one mother who's Somali, one mother, and my father is African American. I haven't experienced a lot of the Somali culture that I wish I would have. My Somali guy is pretty weak, and I'm hoping to learn a lot more. And so that's why I'm trying to immerse myself more and the culture, the Somali culture, Somali history. Something that really, from reading an article, really isn't passed down as much through the items that you see here. It's really passed down through the oral traditions, where my yayo is telling me about stories of the fox and libah and lions and things like that, and it's telling me all these different stories, you know, since I was growing up as a child. And so that's really how the history and the culture has been passed down throughout our families and generations. And we want to also show, you know, the significance of these items, the significance of the things that our families really have grown up with. I have never been to Somalia, so this is kind of a taste of, you know, Somalia that I'm experiencing. I haven't seen the artwork, the land, the buildings, the people. And so alhamdulillah, this is an opportunity for all of us, Somali and non-Somali, people from different cultures and backgrounds, to experience, you know, a lot of the history of Somalia and the people. So alhamdulillah, I'm happy that all of you guys can attend, and I hope you enjoy the event. Assalamu alaikum.
Good afternoon, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Amal Ghani, and I'm here to explain a little bit more about the people who hosted this event and a little background history of the organization and what we aim to do. So, though we were initially inspired by the Somali Youth League, we feel that it would have been too simple and a level of infringement associated with naming ourselves the Somali Youth League of Atlanta. The legacy and history of the Somali Youth League is present in their name, and we felt that using the same name without the cache of honors and mobilization that the Somali Youth League has would be an insult to their efforts. We try to stick to a name as similar as possible, yet different for our own purposes. We in the SSLA believe that education truly never ends, and that every human being is born a student and dies a student, regardless of their educational achievements. We also believe that it is easier to create solidarity among educated minds, as those minds are the ones most committed, passionate, and disciplined for mobilization. We really wanted our name to reflect just how committed we are to the educational facet of our unifying movement. Though the Somali Students League of Atlanta may seem like a new idea to many Somali residents and citizens of Atlanta, we are in no way pioneers in this arena, or the first to create a league. So, as the speaker today will give us a background of the traditional, original Somali Youth League and his experience and his history, primary history as well as secondary. And we will learn a lot today, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to thank Deen Media for coming out such short notice to film this event, and Brother Bashar, will you please come over here and introduce your media team and what you guys would do today.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So not only did we get short notice and we're able to come out and cover the event as a media organization, as you can see, we are also available to be drafted to speak at the last minute. So I had no idea, was not prepared to say anything, but this is a very easy thing to talk about as an African descendant here in America. The importance of such an event and the connection of it to media is so valuable. And today, this is a very wealthy moment in time to connect the youth of your country and the elders and that rich history that is in between the two. And for us as Africans here in America to understand and to learn today about your independent struggle and the correlation between it and our independent struggle, or at least our civil rights struggle here in America, which was a good thing, but there's a very big difference between a civil rights struggle and an independent struggle. And we're going to benefit as Africans in America to learn about this valuable history that you have in Somalia. So it's exciting. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited that we're documenting this very important piece of history. We hope that it goes out through the use of the internet to the entire world and to even back to your country, to Africans here in America, to see and learn that the reason you have an independent struggle, the reason you fight for liberation is for the things that are on these tables here. You're fighting for your own identity. You're fighting for your right to be what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made you to be, to have your own voice, to have your own culture, to have your own history, and you are very rich people. I seen today a prayer rug that was made out of leather and a chalice that the brothers carry with the wudu water in it. I've never seen nothing like that. It was amazing. And I felt so inspired because I said, you know, that's from my people. Because one of the beautiful things about being an African American is that because we were cut off from our roots in Africa, we don't know where exactly we come from, we get to adopt all countries. We get to adopt all of the cultures. And I feel just as Somalian as I do anything else. So I'm honored to be here. We're honored as a media organization to be covering your event. And we thank Allah for allowing us this opportunity.
Thank you, Brother. Before I introduce Abdullah Oday, I would like to tell you more about his background and what we actually come here in the first place. And he actually worked on before the Somali Youth League before the Somali Youth League in Somalia independence. They had underground movement who actually were the building blocks in every region in Somalia when it comes to getting independence in Somalia. And Abdullah Oday would actually continue telling his story, and we would actually listen, and if we have a question at the end of it, we would actually ask and learn. Sami Abdullah would continue taking the moderator role, and you can actually direct her any question you might have. And Samir.
We said, let's make a radical group of people, party in Somalia. How do you do that? The British is ruling the country. We're not allowed to do that. Let's have a secret organization. And how are we going to work? Let's continue for a while until we get enough information how to start. Finally, we started, and we used to meet in Yemen, and we have 4 boys in Somalia we sent, and they roam about in the northern part of Somalia that British was ruling, and they were pretending to make school on 4 stops of the old party, SYL, the SNL. It was in 1948 brought up, and then it just went back. And it's just a place where people enjoy getting together, but no politics. They found out how to do it. Anyway, we took over that party at the end and declared and openly to the British. And when we meet 4 cities, one night, we called the party together and told the public, what has the British government done for us for 84 years? Look at the street, look at this school, nothing. Then why is the British here? We declared, we don't want British anymore. Go back to your country. We want independence of Somalia, all 5 parts of Somalia. That was the beginning of that movement. Once that movement started, I remember the night that one friend of mine who was running Hargeisa, made that speech. What is the president for us? What happened was, when the thing's over, and we went to his house, 6 of us talking about, and that's went back to their houses. The police came and knocked at the door. I came out, and I said, what's up? They said, we want Ismail. Ismail. The police is waiting for you. When he came out, they told, get in the car. Boom. So, believe it or not, those people who were watching the speech of in the party, who went home, everybody came back. And they started istimar ko hadna, let the istimar, colonial business go to hell. We don't want them anymore. The police came and they wondered why is the whole people got up one. They went home and came back. 2 officers, Somali officers, police officers, came out and telling the people, go home. Tomorrow this guy will be brought to the court. Come to the court tomorrow, but go to sleep now. No, we're not going home. Istimar ko hataw. Istimar ko hataw. That means let the colonialism go to hell. Yeah. All night. And then one of the leaders of the party came out, and the police told him, you stand here and tell the people to go. He came out and said, you know me? Yes, we know you. Okay, go home, but tomorrow when that guy comes to the, when the guy is brought to the court, everybody should come to the court. The whole people in Cayman, like this, surrounded the court, and the British officer came. He told the guy, he gave him bad talk. You know what you did? You did something bad. You should be right. You break the law. You're going to be jailed for a long time. Then he saw all these people and said, no, I don't want to cause any problem. Don't do that again, I'll let you go. He let him go, and all that people just went. That never stopped. And finally, the independence of British Somaliland became Bilqasam. And then later on, 4 days later, the southern Somalia independence. 4 days later, they get together, one government, or the whole thing, all two. But anyway, and the young people who were radicals, who were non-tribalists, who were very nationalistic, did not get positions to lead the country after independence. Other people who had individual interests became the leaders. And I personally came from Aden and I went to Somalia. I went to Mogadishu. I said, I have to go and see the capital. I came to the capital, and when I came to the capital, I went to the parliament. The parliament is fighting. Well, we want a position, we want a position. But they are not talking about plans for the development of the country. And then I said, I was very nationalistic, like those younger. I was one of them, and I said, why are these people not talking about what to do for the people and the country?
Excuse me, brother.
Everybody is looking for something.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties happen sometimes.
Yeah. Anyway, I got mad, and I said, I'm not going to stay in here. And because of that anger, I left and came to the United States. All right? Angry. I was very angry when I came here. All the activities that we did, how we struggle, and those guys want positions, fighting over positions. I got married and left the whole place, came to the United States. When I came to the United States, as a matter of fact, I left my family back. My wife was just one child, and America, there were no Somalis. There were only 13 people in Harlem, New York, all over the United States, believe it or not. 13 Somalis. I came to them. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, I told them, well, I'm here. There was no jobs. There was nothing. It was absolutely hell. Then I said, why did I come here? How can I go back? You can't go back. You're stuck. Okay? I went through that hell. Finally, I, got some job, and I brought my family back. But when 9.5 years later, okay, and that was the story. When my wife came here with the 2 children, one boy, one girl, then when we sat here, we have nothing, we left everything else alone. Then 6 people was born in here. Okay, then I forgot about Somalia and its independence and everything. Even though I was still active and used to make in New York struggles, but anyway, that's a history. As a little bit of the history I can tell you. It is not, I can't cover all the documents I have. Is that underground movement and everything that was taken back in Somalia since 1948. Anyway, that's the story, and I said, all right, I am not going to work in Somalia. I see now a change, people thinking absolutely differently. Because then was a different situation, now it's a different situation, future will be a different situation. God, inshallah, I hope they will think how to build their own country. Everybody knows Somali said, I want to run outside. I want to go to Europe. I want to go to America. Why are you going? Why don't you go and dig something in your house, in your country? Why don't you make something? No, everybody is saying, I'm going outside. Well, that's the story. It's not good. That's not good for the future. Anyway, we have nothing to do with it. We can't do anything about it now. We hope God will give them a chance, a way to think about their future, or the future of their young ones. All right, I cannot do much more. I cannot tell you anymore, so I'll leave it that. We don't have time to just look at that paper. You will see what I went through hell.